So this is a combined class, and as you know, both section 2 and section 3 students are here. I believe both the section students are there. Is there anyone from section 3?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is there anyone from section 2? By default, they were supposed to be section 2. Anyone from section 2?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
from section 3 also we are here.
Yeah, that's true. I just told that section 2, because this is a combined class. One of our faculty is not available because of some emergency work. So we are combining it. Anyway, so because my progress is more or less quite similar with for both section 2 and section 3, because of that we are combining it. For section 2 and 3, last class we just started demand. I think for section might be 2, that I am going to start from demand only. So my simple request to you is that when we discuss demand, consider yourself as a consumer. Consider yourself as a consumer, buyer. You went to market to purchase something. Okay. And when we discuss supply, later part we will discuss supply also. Consider yourself as a producer or supplier. You produce something and brought something to sell into that market. So that will come in supply, and later part towards the end we will combine both demand and supply, and we discuss mostly in the context of a market, considering both demand and supply. Now when we talked about demand, consider yourself just a consumer. You are a consumer, you are a buyer, you went to market to purchase something. Now last class I told that one in one section that what do we mean by demand. So demand is desire for something backed by purchasing power as well as willingness to pay for it. Okay, this is not a classical definition of demand, but you can consider it just like a demand definition. It is desire for something. You have to have a desire for something. Okay, backed by purchasing power. You have to have the purchasing power also. Say in our example for both the section, probably I give that example of tomato, suppose. So I need tomato, so I have that desire for tomato. I have 50 rupee in my pocket to purchase a kg of tomato. So you have to have the purchasing power. Otherwise, it will be simply your wish. If you do not have purchasing power, but you have desire, then it will be simply your wish. I wish to have a kg of tomato. I wish to have a BMW, something like that. I used to have a private jet, something like that. Backed by purchasing power and willingness to pay for it. Sometimes what happened, I already explained in one section, but I didn't explain it in other section. But because of that, just 1 or 2 minutes, it may be repetition for one section. Backed by willingness to pay for it. Sometimes you reach market, you have purchasing power, but you are not ready to pay. And I give that example. Suppose when you reach market, you find that tomato quality of tomato is the one what you are looking for. It is not that quality is not like that what you are exactly looking for. Or quality is very poor quality. So you decided that no, I cannot purchase this quality tomato. Sometimes you need a washing machine. You are illiterate might be, or some problem might be. So you find that its operation is very, very complicated for you. So you need a washing machine. You have purchasing power, but as it is much more complex, you find it difficult to even purchase a washing machine because you find it difficult to operate. Or if you are too much concerned about, then you might be what I said the other day, that you might be concerned about after sale services. So when it is after sale services, so you decided that no, it will be very difficult because after sale services of that particular washing machine, whatever is available in market is very, very poor. So in that way, you can go on discussing. So sometimes you might be having purchasing power, you might be having a desire, but you are not ready to pay because of influence of different factors. Then you will be termed as potential buyer. Then because you have purchasing power. So and as I said earlier also, most of these companies target this potential buyer to convert them into actual buyer. Most of these companies try to convert this potential buyer into actual buyer. Why? Because these potential buyers are having purchasing power. So anytime they may be converted into actual buyer. So marketing companies always target is how to convert this potential buyer into actual buyer, maybe through different advertising, through the extensive or aggressive advertisement, maybe sometime through your after sale services, maybe, or free servicing, zero EMI, so and so, or something like that, free installment and so and so. Different kind of strategy companies usually adopt. This demand we discuss it in short run and long run, because short run and long run we will discuss in detail when we will discuss production. But for the time being, you can assume short run represents a time period which is very, very short. Okay, which is very, very short. Short means time period is very, very short, means many of your parameters are constant or fixed. Whereas long run represents a time period which is quite long, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Short run may be one day right now. Short run maybe you are analyzing demand for a day, today's market you are analyzing demand. So when time period is very, very short, say today, then what may happen? Some of your parameters may be constant, not zero, it is constant, no change. But if you consider a time period of 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, many of your parameters may change. Most of your factors will be changed. So I will come back to that issue after some time. So initially we are concentrating on analyzing demand, maybe in short time period. So when we talk about demand right now, I am analyzing anyway. Another is about your individual demand and market demand. Individual demand, you know it, your individual demand, personal demand. So you need a kg of tomato, you have purchasing power also, so you went to market to purchase a kg of tomato. So that is your individual demand. But if I aggregate, if I combine all the individual demand related to demand for tomato in a market, then we will get market demand for tomato. So it is simply the aggregation of individual demand related to the particular commodity. That is the market demand. Now, when time period is very, very short, say right now, can you hear me as well as can you see the file where I am writing, say for example, here, can you see it?
Yes,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
now quick question, and please remember many of my question will be very, very quick, and I expect maybe quick response. Do not worry for mistakes. So many times I told in my class, do not worry, because many of the things you already know. I'm just streamlining your knowledge, nothing else. Because these are basically we are discussing indirectly consumer behavior. Anyway, so you went to market for tomato. Suppose I'm talking about that example. So many times we talked earlier also. You went to market to purchase a kg of tomato. So what will come to your mind first when you reach tomato? Because we are analyzing demand in short time, means say 2 days. Market demand will come later on. So what will come to your mind? You went to market to purchase a kg of tomato. What will come to your mind?
Tomatoes quality should be good.
Any other?
Price.
Okay. So before without wasting time, so what I am telling you, the first and foremost things will come to your mind is your price. What is the existing price? Quality you will see it, but before quality even you will see price. because sometimes quality may be less, but at the same time, if it is stackable, you will bargain maybe, or you may go for some other option also. If price is less, you are getting it much lower price, might be. You may not be in a position to store it because it is already maybe much more over-ripened or something like that. But anyway, the first and foremost things will come to your mind is what is that price. So in short run, demand we express like a function of Qx is a function of price. Demand, quantity demanded will be decided by price. Means if I draw this relationship in a graph paper, what kind of relationship you will get it?
Price is less, quantity is more.
You are getting a relationship negatively slope. Now, there are many things to discuss here. One is you might be thinking that how only price can influence demand. Price is the independent variable, demand is the dependent variable. Quantity demanded for X. X is the commodity, suppose, QX. Quantity demanded for X. PX is price of X. This is the market price. This is one. So you might be thinking that how only price may be the factor big, but please remember we are right now considering only very short time period. Today, maybe 1 hour. Within this 1 hour, we are discussing demand. Then there may be many more factors which are constant, which we will discuss it in long run demand function. But in short run, right now, I am discussing short run. Short run. In short run, price is the only variable. Along with that, all other variables are at certain level, constant. This is one. Second is, in that diagram you observe what is our intention. Usually we consider, or we usually draw in diagram, we usually draw that dependent variable. Okay, dependent variable on y-axis, independent variable on x-axis. But here I just draw it in a reverse way. So why I am telling it, more or less you will get same graph. In certain books, you may find that Px is written in x-axis, Qx is written in y-axis, following that pattern of dependent variable in y-axis and independent variable on x-axis. Then also you will get same results. So because of that, I'm just telling you that you sometimes you may do not confuse about it. Third is, I draw a line. It shows that inverse relationship, something like Qx equal to A minus BPX. So I assume the linear relationship. So this kind of relationship is explained by the law of demand. Law of demand. Law of demand. So what law of demand says? All other things are at certain level. That is sometimes called ceteris paribus also. That is the word. So all other things are at certain level. When price of a commodity increase, quantity demanded decrease. When price decrease, quantity demanded increase. All other things are at certain level. When price of a particular commodity is more, quantity demanded is less. When price is less, quantity demanded will be more. Clear? Law of demand. This is the law of demand. This is just the expression of this relationship in sentence. All other things are at certain level when price of a commodity is more, but all other things are very, very important. There may be many more other factors which we assume that. So you keep your system mute. If you want to talk to me, unmute and talk to me, and after that immediately you should mute it. because others should not feel disturbed because of you. And my attention also, now I came back to your other screen, MS Team screen, but I was in that other one. Clear? It is a sentence expression in a sentence. All other things, because there may be many other parameters or factors which may influence event. But we assume as time period is very, very short, right now I am analyzing. So we assume that only price is the changing factor. In short run. Any question? Any question? Anything? Is it clear? Tell me, do not hesitate quickly, because I will move on, because already too many lecture we just spent it. Any doubt?
Law of demand.
Pardon?
Can you tell that statement of law of demand?
No, statement of law of demand means all other things are at certain level. When price of a commodity is more, quantity demanded less. When price is less, quantity demanded is more. You observe also this. This is that one.
Yeah, got it. Yes, I got it.
Any other question?
Sir, why it is a linear function?
Okay. Yeah, that is a question. That is I am able to. So it may be linear, it may be non-linear also. Sometimes it may be, say, qx equal to a px to the power minus b power function. It may be rectangular hyperbola also. Qx equal to a by px plus c into b, where a, b, c are greater than 0. Something like that. It may be. So it may take different form. So do not worry about that. Okay? It may take different form. This is one. Now, so in general, demand is negatively slope. Relationship between price and quantity demanded is negative, whether it is linear or non-linear. But there are some exceptions to the law of demand. Okay. Exception to the law of demand. Okay. At least I discussed 3 exceptions. One is, see, maybe in general it is negatively slope. Relationship is negative, but sometimes maybe very exceptions are exceptions. Please remember, very short period this is happening. One is expectation regarding future price rise. Suppose I observe, because nowadays, because of media and because of print as well as TV, all this, very quickly I get the information, suppose, that what is going on about that price. Suppose I observe that tomato price, exceptional case, suppose say it happened in market that tomato price was 10 rupee, it started increasing now because of heavy rainfall, or during that harvesting time period, crop already decayed or destroyed in field itself. You cannot store for long. Situation is something like that. So in that case, what happened? Ultimately, you got it in that way, but you decided that, okay, price started increasing. Means you are a buyer. What you observed that earlier last week it was 10 rupee, this week it become, or almost every day, because of short supply, because of rainfall and so and so. These are behind the scene, these are interlinked, but right now I'm considering increase in price. 10 rupee, 15 rupee, 20 rupee, or it may be onion also maybe. Instead of tomato, you can think about onion also. 25, 30, in that way it is going on. And you because of news and other things, it is predicting that tomato price or onion price is going to be 100 or more than 100. To avoid that bitter situation, if you can store it instead of purchasing maybe 1 kg right now, you purchase 5 kg. Similar to you, others also started more quantity. Usually in normal situation, you would have purchased maybe half a kg or 1 kg. But as you are expecting a higher price rise in coming days, so instead of 1 kg or 2 kg, you purchase 5 kg, 10 kg in that way to avoid a bitter situation in coming days. Then what will happen? If you aggregate the individual demand, you will get the market demand. Market demand is increasing, price is also increasing, demand is also increasing. For a short period maybe, but this is happening. Price is also increasing, demand is also increasing. It may happen in that way. Okay. So this is one exception, that expectation regarding future price. Okay. Expectations regarding your, say, future price or future price rise. Future price. Second one is your gift item or prestigious item. Sometime on a particular day, you want to give gift to your friends. Similar to others also, on that particular day, they are giving gift. Then what may happen, although price may go up, then also you might be purchasing, might be that maybe small quantity, but you are purchasing on that particular day. Like Saraswati Puja, it is not a gift item, but Saraswati Puja, suppose demand for flower usually go up. This flower price go up on Saraswati Puja, and on that day, if you observed it even in market, you may find that price may go up. Because many a times it happened that price is going up, and your demand is also going up on that particular day. Next day might be price is again coming down, but on that day, almost everybody is looking for some flower, because of that price is going up. Who is Jatin Kumar? Is there any Jatin Kumar here attending class? Is there any Jatin Kumar here? He is trying to control. Pardon?
Hello, sir.
Jatin Kumar is here. So why are you trying to control? You are requesting?
No, actually, sir, that's by mistake, sir. Sorry, sir.
It's okay. So on a prestigious, sometime even for prestigious item also, you may not be get a regular demand pattern. It may behave in an exceptional way. So because of that, what happened for gift item or prestigious item, sometime it may happen that you may get exception to the law of demand. Like I give that example of Saraswati Puja purchasing of flower and so and so. And third one is maybe your giffen goods. Giffen goods. So Sir Robert Giffen, one British economist, he was doing extensive work on the relationship between your demand and price, and it was named after him, Giffen good. A giffen good doesn't mean any specific commodity. A giffen good doesn't mean any specific commodity. It may be any essential commodities consumed by mostly poor household, and that consume a major portion of their income. Giffen good doesn't mean any specific commodity. It may be any essential commodity. Suppose think about rice. Think about a rice consumed by a poor household. So given good doesn't mean any specific commodity. It may be any essential commodities. So in economics, later part, I will discuss definitely that goods may be, or in earlier also I mentioned that normal goods, essential goods, luxury goods, inferior goods, you will find. Anyway, it may be any essential commodities, much cheaper, obviously, and that they consume a major portion of their income. Say I'm talking about suppose rice consumed by a poor household. Suppose the household is like that, only one member is working, they are having total 5 members, only one member is working, all others are dependent, and their weekly requirement is 15 kg. Out of this 15 kg, 10 kg of rice they purchase at the rate of 15 rupee per kg. Hypothetical, all are hypothetical value. Please remember, these are hypothetical value. 10 kg they purchase at the rate of 15 rupee. Very poor quality rice, essential commodity, much cheaper. So they are spending 150 rupee here. And 5 kg they are purchasing good quality rice. Suppose it is 40 rupee. It is 200. So it is 350. So this is weekly budget, not monthly, weekly budget. Suppose only one person is working and he is getting maybe 2 days work in a week, not every day. Sometimes he is getting week. So 2 days means he might be earning maybe 600, 700, something like that daily. So 2 days means around 700. Out of that one, 350 means major portion of their income it is going on after food, essential commodities, rice. So his weekly requirement is suppose 15 kg of rice, and that they are managing by, the person is managing by spending 350 rupee. All are hypothetical value. Okay. So given good doesn't mean any specific commodity. It may be any essential commodities. Then each substitute. Substitute is obviously, it may be rice, good quality rice, it may be other kind of product also. But it is much cheaper. 15 rupees is nothing. And it is consumed mostly by poor household, and that consume a major portion of their income. Almost 50% of income is going after rice. Here in this case. And it is a poor household, they are consuming poor quality rice. Economically poor, here I mean to say. Now suppose what happened in market, all other things are at certain level. His income and other things are not changed as it is. Taste, preference, no change, nothing. But price of this poor quality rice, good quality rice is as it is. Price increase from 15 to 16 rupee, hypothetically. Price increase from 15 to 16 rupee. All are assumption only. It may increase to 17 rupee also, whatever it is, 16 rupees suppose. Then what will be the reaction of that household to that increase in price? Price increase. In market, this is market price increase of poor quality rice from 15 to 16. What will be the reaction to that increase in price? Reaction of the household or reaction of the person who is buying food to that increase in price. Means how he or she will manage his consumption basket. His budget is 350. That is no change about 350. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay, so quickly, if you like to respond, I will give you the answer, but if you
Can you just
like,
repeat it once more?
simple, poor quality rice price increased from 15 to 16 rupee. All other things are at certain level. What will happen? How he will manage?
We would
Quickly.
just increase the amount of the the poor quality rice.
Pardon?
We would just decrease the amount of the poor kg rice we were purchasing.
How much?
Just like
How
we were
much?
purchasing 10 kg.
Roughly how much?
Around 40 or 15 kgs.
15 kg. This rice,
No,
poor
no,
quality.
sorry. Nah, sorry, it should be 9.
9 kg. Okay. 9 kg. So 9 into 16, how much roughly?
144.
144. Then here it is keeping as it is. Here it is 200, so it is around 344. So it will be 344. Now, but you are 9 plus 5, it is only 14 kg. So you prefer to go to bed empty stomach or what? You are going to bed maybe for a day, empty stomach. Will you prefer to go to bed empty stomach? At least I will not do it.
Yes, sir.
I will not do it.
So what we can just do, we can just purchase less that high quality rice.
How much?
We can just decrease by 2 kg. We can just purchase that 3 kg. Or we can just go for 4 kg of high quality rice.
Okay. And this one? Quickly.
And that one with 11 kg.
So roughly, suppose. So if it is in that, it is 15 kg. And some value you will get it. Maybe you can go to fraction also, you will get the 350 ultimately. Approximately 350 maybe 350 maybe, or something like that, maybe approximate value maybe. This is 160 maybe, something like that. Anyway, you will get some value. Now issue is not that one. Issue is what? Here the issue is when price of poor quality food grain increase, instead of decreasing, you are increasing that consumption of poor quality rice. So is it not an exception to the law of demand? Price increase, demand increase from 10 to 11 or 11.5, whatever it is. If you calculate those values, you will get a round value also. You can calculate it depending upon what kind of value you are considering or how it is increasing. You can find out a round value also, round figure. That is not a big issue. The issue here is that maybe for a short period, price increase, demand also increase. So given good is an exception to the law of demand. Okay. Now let's move on. These three exceptions we discuss it. Demand in general, we will get demand behave in this way. Then it may be linear, it may be non-linear also. Now this was in short run we were discussing. Now I am going to long run situation. Long run means you can consider maybe 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Means time period is long. which will allow even other factors to influence in demand, quantity demanded. Because we assume that law of demand also says that all other things are at certain level. But in long run, suppose, long run demand. Then here your quantity demanded will be a function of, obviously price will be a factor, no doubt about it. Even in long run also price will be a factor. That's fine. But along with price, there will be so many other parameters which will influence demand. Means sometimes price may be constant, no change in price of the commodity. But as other factors are changing, quantity demanded may change. Now, quickly, I want to hear from you, what are those other factors?
Maybe there can be some kind of emergency. So
What will happen? Emergency?
just like COVID just happened.
Please remember one thing, that ensure that price is not reflecting that factor. Say suppose in emergency, demand for certain product may go up, ultimately that will be reflected by price. Is it not? Price will influence ultimately. Because as of now, we are silent about supply.
Sir, per capita income.
Why are you jumping to per capita income? Why not you directly say about income? Straight away you come and talked about income. Consumer's income.
Yes.
Price may go up, then also I may not be that much careful about increase in price because my income is increasing. Suppose food grain, rice, price of rice is increasing. Okay, I am less bothered because my income is increasing. If my income is increasing, let it be price increase. Still, I will go for purchasing more quantity of rice, maybe. Okay. This side is QX. This side is suppose income. If you plot, if you want to see the relationship between income and quantity demanded, then you may find different kind of relationship. Like, say, in general, I am just trying to draw it some general trend only. Okay, this is for your luxury goods. Luxury goods means the demand for luxury good will start when you reach a particular level of income. Once you reach a particular level of income, then only demand for luxury goods will start. Luxury goods are those goods which are not essential for your survival. These are for your comfort. These are not essential for your survival. This is called luxury goods. Luxury goods demand starts when you reach a particular level of your income. Again, to some extent, it is a relative term, but still, one basic bottom line here is that these are not essential for your survival. Means here another category will be there, that is your essential commodities. So essential commodities are those commodities which are essential for your survival. You may find a curve something like that. These are maybe essential goods. Essential goods are those goods which are essential for your survival. Without those goods, you cannot survive, like basic food, basic clothes, so and so. So many essential commodities you may find it. Similarly, in between essential goods and normal goods, you may find another goods that is called your, luxury goods and essential goods. You may find another good that is called your normal goods maybe. These are normal goods. Normal goods are coming in between your essential goods and luxury goods. Means, and in economics, how we define normal goods? Normal goods are those goods whose demand increase along with increase in income. Normal goods are those goods whose demand increase along with increase in income. Okay, in general, I'm just drawing it. Now, along with that, you may get another goods that is your, say, inferior goods. You are supposed to draw those diagrams separately. Please remember, you are supposed to draw this diagram separately. I am just drawing it using different color. Normal goods are those goods whose demand increase along with increase in income. But inferior goods are those goods whose demand decrease along with increase in income. This is called inferior goods. Inferior goods are those goods whose demand decrease along with increase in income. See our diagram, I draw in this way. Okay, inferior goods. This side is income, this side is QX, suppose. But why I draw this curve instead of directly drawing a negatively sloped curve? Why I draw a curve with this kind of curve or with a shape? But inferior goods is what I am saying, that inferior goods are those goods whose demand decrease along with increase in income. If income increase, demand decrease. This is the inferior goods characteristics. Then why I draw this portion in a positive way? This portion, what? Quickly, if you like to respond. Why? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Why it is this portion is initial portion, I draw a positive way. The answer is simple. You see your previous event here, the family was managing weekly requirement of 15 kg, 350 rupee. Suppose your income is only 100 rupee. Food grain price is 15 kg, poor quality. Forget about good quality. Poor quality food grain is 15 rupee per kg. Your income is 100 rupee. With 100 rupee, maybe close to 7 kg of rice you can purchase. Maybe with 100 rupee, when it is 100, close to maybe 7 kg of food grain you purchase it. Your income increased from 100 to 150. Then somehow you manage to purchase maybe 10 kg here, in that way. Then your income reached to 225, suppose. 225, you manage Q1 is 15 kg. That is your weekly requirement. 225 is your income. Means which you can spend after rice. Then with 225 rupee, 15 rupee per kg, you are managing the 15 kg. Then your income or portion of the income which you can spend after rice is suppose 300, 350, 400, 500. It's going on increasing. What will happen? Will you not try to substitute it with maybe good quality, either good quality rice or other kind of food? Because your consumption pattern also may totally change. You may even move on to, if your income is increasing, you may move on to even junk food also. That will replace maybe some quantity, but that will replace your requirement also. That may happen. So in that way, it may go on. It may go on. So later part, when your income increase, you are substituting. Means your demand for this rice will decrease from 15 kg to 10 kg, 7 kg. Because that may be replaced by your good quality rice or maybe by other kind of food. Because of that, what I said that in general, inferior goods are those goods whose demand decrease along with increase in income. But initial phase, when income is so low, you are not in a position to even manage 15 kg of rice, You are less bothered about what kind of quality food you are consuming. Your basic objective is to fill your stomach so that you need not go to bed empty stomach. That is your ultimate aim. And you are trying for that. Okay? So that may happen. So anyway, so one factor is over, income. Then other factor, quickly. Other factor. Yeah, you guess, nothing wrong. Let it be a mistake. Or nothing is coming to your mind. Quickly, we have less time.
Maybe influence of other people's like advertisements.
Advertisement will ultimately be reflected in your price because the advertisement cost is ultimately passing on to that price of that commodity. Is it not? Most of these companies, they are doing it. They are going for advertisement, but ultimately that will be reflected in your price. We are considering long run. Okay. So the moment I told also, few minutes back, I mentioned one factor also. It didn't, pardon?
Inflation rate.
Inflation rate means that will not be reflected in price. One factor you are missing is your taste, consumers' taste and preference. Long run, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Right now I am consuming tea. After 5 years, my taste changed, my preference changed. Instead of tea, I started consuming coffee. Similar to me, there are other people also who started consuming coffee. So my taste changed. So demand for X also may change. Demand for tea may change, will decrease because consumers' taste and preference. Along with that, indirectly, I am also telling it another factor, that is price of complementary item or substitute item. Is it not? Say, for example, QX represents demand for tea, suppose. Demand for tea, QX, commodity is tea, suppose. Tea is a beverage. Price of tea, no change, constant. No change. But what happened? Price of coffee, coffee is its substitute. Coffee is price of coffee decrease. Price of coffee decrease. When price of coffee decrease, what will happen? All are normal commodity. Price of coffee decrease, demand for coffee will go up. Yes or no? Coffee is the substitute of tea.
Yes.
Price of coffee decrease, demand for coffee will go up. How demand for coffee will go up? That you need to know, or that you need to think about. Demand for a particular product is increasing, suppose. So demand for coffee is increasing. How demand for coffee is increasing? That you need to know. Quickly, if you like to respond.
Firstly, price is decreasing, some quality is increasing.
I am silent about quality. Quality is as it is, suppose. Price decrease, demand for coffee increase. I am asking you the simple question, how demand for coffee will go up?
Other companies' prices should be same actually.
No,
at that
my
particular-
my question
Price
is,
of coffee is increased, coffee demand of coffee will be increased, I guess, sir.
pardon?
Like the price of tea is increased, so people cannot afford. So the demand for coffee increases.
Price of coffee, price of tea increase. My simple question, you forget about this one. My simple, I am concentrating here now on these two components. Concentrating, but it may be linked also. Price of coffee decrease, demand for coffee will go up. Price decrease, demand go up, that you know. My question is, what is the composition of that demand? How that demand is increasing? What is that contributing portion to increase in demand?
Sir,
Price is decreasing.
Pardon?
Price
So
is
you-
decreasing, the quantity is increasing.
No, price decrease, quantity demanded increase. But my question is that what is that contributing portion of that increase in demand?
Income of someone.
Any other? You are not probably getting what I am asking you. Yeah,
Sir-
any other quick
The
response?
people's taste, they substitute coffee for tea. They start drinking coffee.
No, that is right. That is right. That is one portion you are writing. Okay, let me explain it quickly because time is almost up. So price decrease, demand increase. My question is that one, that how demand increase. Say you went to market to purchase a kg of tomato. When you reach market, if 50 rupee in your hand, I already explained it. When you reach market, you find that tomato price is only 25 rupee. So are you not purchasing 2 kg? Because your requirement of tomato is much, already I explained so many times. Same principle apply here, that existing consumer, when price decrease, existing consumer may purchase more quantity of coffee. I'm not saying that everybody will purchase by 100%, maybe by fraction, but if you add it up, ultimately total market demand for coffee will go up. Because most of these consumer, because there is no guarantee that tomorrow also price will be less. Now price is less, so I started purchasing more quantity of coffee. It may be by increase by 100 gram for some consumer, 500 gram, for some consumer 1 kg maybe. It may vary, but ultimately total market demand for coffee will go up. This is one component. Second component is that some of that new consumer may enter into that market. Some of the new consumer may enter into that market. Those who were not earlier in a position to purchase coffee because it is high price. Now price decrease, I can afford. So I also entered into that market to purchase coffee. Enter into that market means physically I was there, but earlier price was high, I was not purchasing. Now price is less, I thought that better to purchase. So these are the new consumers. Some of the new consumers are coming from tea. Earlier, I used to have only tea because coffee price was much higher. I cannot afford. But now, when price decrease, I started deciding that, okay, price of coffee decrease. So why not I taste coffee also? So I reduce partially. I'm not going to extreme condition that totally stop coffee, tea, and started switching over 100% to coffee. That may be for few consumer, but some consumer or a good number of consumer may consume tea along with coffee now, because price of coffee is less. So in that case also, what may happen, there may be some consumer who may switch over from tea to coffee. When they are switching over, maybe partially or maybe totally, whatever may be, whether it is partially or totally, whatever it is, they are switching over, ultimately demand for tea will go down. So price of coffee decrease, demand for tea also decrease. So if two products are substitute, they are moving in similar direction. Price decrease, price for coffee decrease, price for the demand for tea also decreasing. Whereas this is at certain level, no change in price of tea. So sometime price of tea may not change, but as price of coffee decrease, demand for tea also decrease because they are substitute. If it is bread and butter, tea and sugar, say QT, price of tea, no change. No change in price of tea. I am consuming tea with sugar only. Price of sugar price or price of sugar increase like anything now. Price of sugar increase like anything. When price of sugar increase, demand for sugar decrease. Because I cannot afford higher price of sugar. So I started purchasing less quantity of sugar. When sugar is quantity is less, not available, consumption of tea also decrease. So it decrease in this way. So in this case, what is happening? Price of sugar is increasing. This is increasing. Demand for tea is decreasing. Opposite direction, because they are complementary to each other. So in case of complementary goods, they will behave in opposite direction. In case of substitute good, they are behaving in same direction. You see here and here. But in case of complementary item like tea and sugar, bread and butter, fuel and your four-wheeler or any vehicle, they are complementary to each other. They will behave in a opposite direction. Price increase, demand decrease. Demand of each complementary item decrease. Clear? So price of substitute and complementary item is another factor. So there are few more factor. I will Thursday again, I will take a combined class and I will finish it. Along with that, just remind me, some of you, please remind me about dead weight loss. Or okay. Instead of dead weight, you just inform me or remind me about consumer surplus. Because I not forgot actually, I was remembering, but I will discuss something here about consumer surplus. Not in detail, but as topic discuss arise here, better to discuss it little bit about consumer surplus in the with the help of demand line or demand curve. Okay. Any question, quick question from anyone?
So can you just give the full form of this LG, EG, and NG, please?
LG means your luxury goods. LG means luxury goods. EG means essential goods or essential commodities. And IG means inferior goods. NG means normal goods. Okay.
Yes, sir, got it.